What is up, goats? It's Dwight Cenac here. I don't even know if I'm your host, but I'm here with you, and so is everybody else. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Dwight Cenac with the Gaming Goat Network. One of the most canceled game creators around. Why? Because I'm a cis white conservative male who just wants to live his life and make fun games, and that's not allowed in this community. Fortunately, I'm in good company with other like canceled fellows, such as Portland Occupied Zone's Will. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, it would have been funnier if we fought. I don't know. Maybe we can bring that back later sometime.
One of these days. We'll
He's
get
Dwight,
the
and he is one of the most canceled people in all board gaming. One of.
This is Will. Will.
Other way.
This way. For our grudge match, we can have the ref, Eddie the Goat. How you doing, brother?
Ready to arbitrate.
It's perfect because you're right in this.
Can I get in the ring or what? Is this like WWE styling?
Yeah. No, yeah. And you get in the ring and we all lather up mud and you know, and then you ref, but then what you don't realize is that we all just wrestle you. So that's what happens.
No ring girls?
We are the ring girls.
I'll take what I can get.
I'm trying to lay this out. We have another Will today. Another Will in the crowd that we're excited to bring in. Our resident CMO guy. Will, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. I think you're here, right? Can you speak for us one more time? Say that one more time.
What if I sign language the whole time?
Only in a gorilla costume. It'd be great. Is that too much of a boomer joke? Okay, so Will, welcome to the club. You are TGG's CMO guy, and this is kind of an introduction of you before we jump into the exciting stuff today about the Dice Tower and other things. But Will, why don't you tell the audience, what is it that you do?
Well, what I think I do for the Gaming Goat, which is awesome, is basically just get our message, our culture, our basically passion for board gaming out to everybody. An argument that I've always had living in Las Vegas is you could sell the absolute best pizza, but if no one comes to buy it from you, then it's not the best pizza. So just something that I've wanted to do more with marketing, and just knowing Jeff for these past few years of just buying board games from him at Town Square, is basically just tell everybody, here's who we are. We'd love to talk to you, know more about you, just, and do some now giveaways that we've now done, which is awesome. I've been running the newsletter now for almost 2 months, basically just highlighting different publishers, different creators, designers, reviewers, different crazy sales we have, just board gaming news in general, like how there's free Gloomhaven digital coming out in a couple days on Epic Store or Epic Games Store. Basically just, trying to culminate a lot of success and get it out so more people know who we are and they would be inclined to, shop with us and be with us.
Yeah, we thank you for being there, Will.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Whose decision was it to bring this guy on?
I think it was the collective decision.
You're pretty excited for the new game today, Will?
What's that, Eddie?
Yeah.
You're pretty excited to get a new game that's just landing this week, aren't you? You headed over to TGG Vegas for what is it? What is that we just had coming out?
The tournament fishing, the deluxe edition, which I already am preparing to varnish again because my dad always taught me to varnish everything as soon as you get it, even though it is varnished. Just to keep that on. But I'm very excited about it. I think the store closes in 10 minutes, even though I'm still here. So I can't drive there that fast. So I'll pick it up tomorrow after work. So I'm very excited about hopefully at least get a solo game in this weekend and, give my own personal, review of it. And it seems awesome already. I never played the print and play. I've never really been that big into print and plays. Like I have Snowbirds here with me. I just literally printed it out and cut it today. I don't know. It seems like an interesting little solo solitaire game, but we'll see.
It's awesome. Yeah, we just had a comment from one of our viewers. They and you are one of 600 people to have gotten that special edition.
Oh, yep. I bought it literally day one with the frog on it. So very excited to back. Yeah.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I went all in. I got the $100 thing, and I don't even have it. So I'm a little grudgy right now. You know what? And
I don't think the
Amen.
frog will be
Yeah.
there, but yeah.
The frog has been canceled.
Yeah.
We had our last
Obviously,
show.
Yeah. He got
Our last
leapfrogged.
show. Our last show was we had another gentleman on who was all about PR. So we had a long conversation.
Michael
about
Haverman.
the importance of PR and marketing and messaging. So thanks for being on. We hope to run you ragged and insane in short order. Enjoy the game though.
Oh, I'm very, very excited.
So we were just talking previously before we went live. We were talking briefly about some recent news in the headlines.
Bombshell. Holy crap.
This is crazy. So we were talking about the Dice Tower, and you were Will, you are our resident, and Will, the TGG CMO guy, you are our resident layman for this episode. So you're the one that the audience can resonate with as we have this conversation. So don't be ashamed, don't be afraid, don't be shy.
If they also don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So so the Dice Tower is it's a gaming review, it's a board game review network. It's a website with a YouTube channel where they review board games. Yeah, one of the biggest. And they have a convention, I guess, the Dice Tower West or East or whatever they do. They're really big now. They grew grassroots, and they've gotten pretty large. They make a lot of content, and a long time ago in the olden day, they were just about board games. That's what they were about, and that's how they grew their audience. Now that this industry has gotten insanosphere wokeness, they've kind of bent the knee. Not even kind of. They've really decided to bend the knee.
They're forcing others to bend the knee.
Yeah, that's the level that they're at.
They got a lead pipe and they're out there whacking knees.
And so they're censoring creators that are not to the left, that are not left of center or far left of center. They've threatened to blacklist game designers. I've got this is a site, Comicsgateorg, and this is a YouTube video that anybody can go look at, where this guy John Delarose, he does a lot of exposés and a lot of talking and stuff. And
do we need to explain him? Do we need to introduce him?
No, not really. I mean, if he wants to come on the show, he can. We can have him as a guest. But basically, if anybody wants to know, there's a lot of there is certainly a lot of false opinions or false information going around about JDA. But and I mean, the thing is, what people don't like about him, what they'll phrase it however they want, but what it really is the guy doesn't hold back. If you pick a fight with him, he will go for your jugular. And he's also very passionate about the zeitgeist. He doesn't agree with the direction of our cultural zeitgeist, and he's standing up against it. And it's like there was a tweet that Zuby once said where people were calling him controversial. I've been called controversial. We've all been called controversial. And Zuby finally put it in beautiful words. He's like, I'm not controversial. The world has just gone insanely stupid, and I refuse to go along with it. And that's basically JDA in a nutshell. He's a YouTube channel guy who's like, I refuse to just accept this stupidity, and I'm going to call it out. I'm going to bring it to awareness. So people don't like him for it, and but at the same time, he makes comics and he wants to make board games. Well, he got in a tiff with the Dice Tower because Tom banned him from his convention, and JDA didn't do anything. He didn't violate any rules. He blocked it. He does it. He's
his content isn't even that controversial.
It's milquetoast.
Yeah,
but so what happened, John? This kind of is a preamble, and this isn't to tell you all backstory about John or JDA, but what happened was JDA joined Gamma. And he made this friendly because he's making a card game, and he made this friendly little introductory post like, "Hey, I'm JDA. I'm this guy. I'm ready to make a game. I'm looking forward to working with you all." And these really far left, radical, woke people who have been on Tom Vassel's show basically ran this hate campaign against him and got him kicked off of Gamma. And at the same time, Tom then went and banned JDA from all of his groups, and JDA hadn't even posted in a lot of them, so there wasn't anything that JDA actually did. So then when JDA was like bought a ticket to go to the Dice Towers convention, Tom personally reached out to him and was basically like, no, dude, you can't, you're not allowed, you're banned. And he called him like trash. He was like, I'm not allowing this kind of trash in here. And it was all over, allegedly, it's all over a video that JDA did about these women of board games and how he likes these girls who do reviews of board games. And you can see all this, you can look all this stuff up on YouTube, but basically that triggered a war with JDA. JDA's like, oh, okay, you're going to ban me? Because it was not but like a year prior that Tom had brought on this other guy who is a far left, radical, hate-filled leftist communist guy who made a couple board games, used to work for Come On. I forget his name. I'm trying to forget it, to be honest. But this guy is like gone on Twitter. His whole Twitter profile is just nothing but hate and vitriol. And Tom put him on his platform and gave him like 2 hours to talk. And so JDA's point was, how are you going to platform this guy but not me, and then say it's not political and say it's about trash? Like, no, you're being political. So they've been going at it back and forth. Eric Lang, that's this guy. Eric Lang was the guy. Thank you. So they've been going at it back and forth, and Tom and now what happens? And like I said, JDA will go for the jugular. The guy has crows everywhere, and these crows brought out today. He said he was going to do an expose, and he did. He did this expose on the Dice Tower, where and I'll share it. Basically, a Dice Tower contributor named oh my gosh, I have all this stuff. Actually, I have all this stuff on hand right now. The guy's name is Nicholas Darraway, and he's a Dice Tower contributor. And it turns out he is a sex offender. He was arrested and charged with he's arrested and charged with thousands of child pornography files on his computer. Thousands. So this is it right here, and this is from the Department of Justice. And I could zoom in, but basically there it is, and it's this guy, Nicholas Darraway, and he's a Dice Tower contributor. And so basically John's whole thing is what we say all the time, which is, here you have these male feminists, these leftist male feminists, and they always end up being like pedos or sexual assault people.
So often.
Every time without fail. And so it's come to the point where, like, if somebody comes out and says like, yeah, I'm an ally, I'm like, oh, here we go. I give it 6 months. 6 months before you're arrested.
Yeah.
Jesus. So John did a video, and so I wanted to talk about this because John's already talked about it on his channel, and you can see more about it on his channel. And this was his video, and I just took a screenshot of it for one reason. This is actually a screenshot, and I did this because I was going to post this on my wall, on my Facebook, and to share. But like, I cannot believe
it's already gone.
No, check this. Yes, check this out. So I went to go.
It's already gone.
I went to go share it, but I wanted to make sure. That it was accurate. I was like, wait a second, was this guy really a contributor? Like, was he really? Did John get it right? And so I looked up the guy's name. I looked up the whole thing, and I found the guy's name, and I looked him up on Dice Tower. I Googled it on Dice Tower, and I couldn't find anything from the Dice Tower. And so I was like, well, shoot. Well, what was the guy like? Okay, if I can't find his profile on their website, I can go and at least reference this video. So I went and looked up this video. Okay, I looked up this video, Board Game Breakfast number 87. The more the merrier. Okay, and I scrolled through it, and I went through the entire video. I watched the entire video, and I couldn't find this guy. More so, I couldn't find this scene. Okay, I couldn't find this. So I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just go check the timestamp. I'll go check the timestamp. They
scrubbed it so fast.
So I went to 9:29. Okay, because that's what it says. 9:29. Okay, it also says 31:38. And I had to take a screenshot of this because when I went there, boom, this is what I see at 9:29, 28:26. So I'm like, and this is the thing. It's Board Game Breakfast number 87. The more the merrier. This is the video, guys. This is the video.
How does that happen?
This is the video. So because YouTube will allow you to cut snippets out of your videos that are already posted. You can actually do that if you want. It's generally for like quick cutting, quick editing, whatever, quick editing and stuff. So then I was like, I went to John. I called John. I was like, John, were you using, like, did somebody tell you about this? And when they told you, did they give you like a screenshot of this video, or were you sharing the actual YouTube video? And John said, he was like, no, man, I had pulled up the video. That was my page. That was the page. That was the YouTube video in my shot. Like, he's basically doing an OBS or whatever, where he shares the screen right here. So this is him looking at the screen as he's doing his video. So he aired the video, okay? And within an hour of it airing, Tom Vassell, or the Dice Tower, ran over to that video and cut this guy out of their video, so it's not there, so you can't see it. And
this just happened.
So this literally all just happened. Okay, this literally all just happened. Now it gets crazier, because I was as we were talking early on in this before we went live, I was checking something out, and I pulled and so because I was thinking I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to be like, well, I mean, if Tom found out, it would make, I could understand if Tom found out, or if anybody found out that one of their teammate, or one of their former team members is this horrendous person. Naturally, you would want nothing to do with them. Now, you might want to come public with it. You might want to come clean and say, hey, listen to the world, and be like, listen, this happened. It's true. We didn't know this. The moment we found out, we took immediate action. And this person's gone, and we do not support them, and we do not promote them, and that's why we've removed them from every part of our platform, our videos and everything. We've done everything we can to remove this guy from our organization. It may not be what I would do, but I could understand and respect that. However, I went back and I looked that article, this article here, okay? Because then I was like, well, when did this actually happen, right? Like, is this news? Was this found out? Because that's another thing that JDA generally does, is he finds out stuff that's like old news, and then he brings it out that nobody knew about, and then he brings it out as an expose. And so I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. But as we can see, this news just happened. Like, this is this month. This is this month old, okay? So then, so this is news, but then I went down, I scrolled down on this thing, and here what we find out is this case was brought as part of Project Safe, a nationwide initiative launched in May.
Of 2006,
Of 2006. So Tom Vassell, so you don't get investigated like this, and you're deep, like, the people don't know, like the people close to you don't know. Like, you can hide stuff, but you don't hide it for 16 years. Like, it's as a matter of fact, last I checked, if you want to be hired if you want a job, you generally get a background check done. This stuff should show up. But barring that, to be investigated for 16 years, and finally the charges are finally brought, there's X to doubt that Tom Vassell and the people at the Dice Tower had no idea that this guy, maybe they didn't believe it. Maybe they were like, yeah, you know what? I don't think you did it. It's probably bullshit, these charges. But they knew. They had to have known that it was actually a thing. And for them to not be transparent and upfront about it, I don't know how you could. I don't know how you could be like, hey, by the way, this is our special guest. He's under investigation for child pornography, but he has great opinions on board games.
And should we say, for legal reasons, we're not accusing the Dice Tower of...
I'm saying, like I said, X to doubt. Okay, this is my opinion. All right.
However, they have also canceled you.
They have canceled me. So
so there's a little bit of Schadenfreude here. There's a little bit of.
It is very tasty for me to read this, but I'm just saying, like, think what you want. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this, and there's no way in hell in my mind that they knew nothing about this. I don't believe it. And for them to not even acknowledge it when it's called out, to not make a public apology, but to immediately go and hide it, like that was the first step. That was the first step. And I haven't seen any posts on the Dice Tower about it. I haven't seen them come out in a press release about it. The first thing they do is scrub it. That is sus AF. So yeah, these are guys who censor who censor people center and right of center, while platforming people far left of center and claiming they're all in favor of women. Like they claim that they're allies of women. They claim that they care about the vulnerable. There's no one more vulnerable. There's no one more vulnerable than children. And every single time, people like this who claim to be people like that end up being people like this. So there you go. You're now all caught up,
Yes.
CMO guy.
Yes.
Here we are.
This will probably be the end of it. It'll probably be the end of it. Yeah.
So there you go, CMO. What's up? All right, you got anything?
Well, like I said, like pre in the chat, I mean, I barely know anything about Dice Tower, just because I don't really watch that many board game reviews. I don't try to keep up with the pop culture board gaming because honestly, it's a world that's beyond what I think I need to be responsible for in my own world that I can actually control. Especially like on Twitter or on Facebook or wherever else people want to talk about board gaming, different websites. But with this, I mean, I guess my thing is when you have that charge against you, I don't think obviously you're probably parading it around,
Right.
but at the same time, you would think if you're promoting this guy for so long and working closely with him and stuff like that, that nothing would pop up. And then, immediately, like you said, as soon as something publicly really was known, they decided, oh, well, let's just backtrack about everything. And I guess to me, that almost seems like they knew and they were just getting ready for something to happen if it did.
Right. That's the thing. Even if that's not the case, it really makes it look like it is.
Yeah, like obviously I'm not like a lawyer or anything like that, but
they could use a PR guy or a you to help them make better decisions.
Well, I don't know if you want to market this, but at the same time, but yeah, as far as the PR goes, I mean, if you're working in that company and you're like, well, we've been promoting this guy for so long, like, where do you go from there? Do you just keep finding board games to review? Or I see like Tom Vassel's recent reviews are like, here are 5 board games you never have to play because I played them. They're awful. It's like, oh, great, thanks, man. But at the same time, I mean, where do you go? Do you just push it to the side, say whoops, and keep moving on, or do you come up with more apologies? Do you or you could be like, I don't know. I just obviously I don't have a professional opinion on it. I don't know. I've never really heard of this guy before. Besides, I knew him as the hat guy. I've probably seen a few random playthroughs or something like that. But besides the hat guy, it's just he doesn't affect my daily life, so I've never really given him or this other guy a thought.
See, that's where I might agree with New Will. We'll call him New Will, our CMO.
CMO
guy.
Oh,
in that, in new cancel culture,
I was here first.
So much time trying to defy. The first thing I would say about this situation is that as much as it might be fun or funny to see people at the Dice Tower suffer the consequences of whatever decision they might have made to get them to this moment, it's the same problem we've been trying to combat this whole time for our own selves and for everyone else around us, and champion getting away from cancel culture, right? And we want to define it. They change the words to accountability, whatever they want to fucking call it. I don't want it, whatever it is. So in that regard, I would say I would favor the side of forgiveness in issues like this for, sometimes individuals, sometimes companies, to say they're not guilty by proximity to this person, guilty by association. It's the stuff that I would want any one of us to benefit from too. Yeah,
obviously.
Socially.
And we don't want the Dice Tower to be canceled. Don't disinvite them from your thing, right? They're not
right. I mean, I don't really think it matters, especially when we consider this person may have gone to great lengths to deceive them, and keep them from knowing things about this background. it's pretty easy to just get excited about talking about board games. And when we talk about that on our show, hey, I just want to talk about board games. I want to talk about having fun. I don't want to talk about all the politics. Well, wouldn't that be nice? But then you get to these situations, and then now they have to be held accountable. Again, Dice Tower isn't my favorite people. You know, Froggate stems from one of their members. But at the same time, this particular insane person that made an accusation against our company to instigate Froggate scandal is not all of Dice Tower by the same regard.
Nope.
Yeah, but they're enabling it is the problem. They enable it and they encourage it and they platform it. And I'm not saying cancel Dice Tower. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I mean, I maybe given more. This all just happened. I could wake up tomorrow having thought about this a lot and then like, you know what? The Dice Tower has become a cesspool of a wretched hive of scum and villainy, a most Isley of board games. No, let's nuke it to the sun. Let's get out of here. But Minecraft. Speaking in terms of Minecraft. But
that was Minecraft. It was Star Wars.
That's what you say when you're saying like, I'm not saying literally, guys. I'm not saying this isn't literal. Okay. I'm just saying like maybe it is. Maybe they should be canceled. Maybe they should be deplatformed. I mean, if that's the world we live in. I know, William, you're not in favor of that, and
I mean,
generally,
in fairness,
what we're talking about.
Dwight. Who is that guy on Timcast? The Jack dude who did like anal porn or whatever? They scrubbed him.
Jack Murphy.
Jack Murphy.
So
it's not just that side of the aisle.
Okay, no, but that's consenting adults, and whether or not I like it, it's consenting adults. This dude was harvesting thousands of files of child porn. Okay.
All right.
This is a huge deal, Murphy, and the thing is
all right. It is different.
And the thing is these there are tells. Okay, like there are tells for these kind of people. Number one is when they come out going, "I'm an ally. I'm a feminist. I'm a male feminist." No, you are a potential pedo. That's what you are, because statistically, that's what you're probably going to be.
That's a broad stroke, right?
Listen, I wouldn't have anything to say if Tom Vassell was an equal opportunity platformer. If he was like, fine, I'll have this ally on, and I'll also have a conservative guy like JDA. I'll have a radical leftist communist who says F Republicans directly into the sun, Eric Lang, and I'll also have hey, I don't think we should be taking little 4-year-olds to male drag shows. John Delarose. I mean, if it was equal opportunity, nobody would have a problem. But the fact is Tom Vassell drew a line in the sand and was like, these are the only people that I will allow the Dice Tower to be friends with. Well, okay, if you're going to go out that far out of your way to filter your network, then I think you should have a bit of accountability when those people turn out to be vile and disgusting creatures that crawl on the planet.
You're looking for a system of justice that might come into play here, right? I mean, I do believe that the charges were being discussed around this particular individual. What was the name? I don't know. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Nicholas.
The alleged pedophile, right? I think, did they have charges that actually stuck 20 years ago?
Convicted. Yes, he's registered.
He's convicted now. He's convicted.
You guys are bringing some stuff to me today. I know we got one more topic that's going to be news to me also, so I kind of can't wait to get to that.
Yeah, maybe we've had enough of this one. Should we move on?
Yeah, it's fucking depressing, guys.
Well, I guess this my thing is, as far as like bringing people in and only allowing like a certain funnel or viewpoint, I guess my thing is I'm totally okay with that. If you want to, I guess, perpetrate, this is who we are and this is people we agree with. If you want to surround your cabinet with yes people, that's okay. Like I can't judge people on that. I'm myself, they're themselves, right? But I guess my thing is, if people are expected to the standard to bring people into like their company or talk about, this is somebody we trust, do we have to do like an automatic background check on them? For everybody that we, I guess platform, as like champions of our lives. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, that is a great business practice, but was he ever working for Dice Tower?
No, he. Well, that is. I guess that's another thing is when you incorporate, which the Dice Tower is. Last I checked, they pay their taxes. You're a business, and in Florida, where the Dice Tower is located, before you get a job, there's a background check. I have very good friends who cannot get jobs. They cannot be employed because they're felons. They're convicted felons. Good friends of mine. And they've started their own businesses, been hired themselves because they can't get a job. That's just kind of the nature of it. But another thing is being overlooked, not necessarily on this panel, but something that's being overlooked by society as a whole, is that board games, by and large, is a family industry. Like, kids play board games.
Yeah, a certain
I think
kind of
that's
board
creating
game.
a limiting factor on a system of entertainment that desires to grow its demographics, target audiences, the content entirely. So, I mean, we can talk about some of the games we're making right now.
Our games
Yeah.
might not be. But it starts like I started playing board games as a kid. That's why I'm here today.
Sure, there's a lot of stuff that's nostalgic kid things that adults are glomming onto. I mean, Transformers, we're talking about a bunch of 80s stuff hitting 30 years, and everything right now is 80s nostalgia. But it doesn't mean we're still children watching them. And if you do, honestly, are you still really getting the same satisfaction you did when you were 8 years old?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is a, by and large, generally speaking, I mean, you want a board game, if you want to buy a board game, you can go to the niche little board game stores, but like the big box stores, if you want to, like, they understand that board games go in the toy aisle, and the toy aisle is largely children. The board games everybody started playing board games as kids, mostly, okay, generally speaking. So when you're going to start a brand for board games, you're going to be in this industry. And this could be a hot take. This could be like a radical hot take, but I don't think it is.
This is a hot take.
I'm in serious trouble because my stuff does not belong in the family section.
No, of course not. Know who you, but you are a board game publisher. What I'm saying is these guys review board games. They review so many board games that they regularly have giant lists of board games that they review. Many of them, a great many of them, are for children. These people are marketed towards families, maybe not to children, but towards families which have children, and they employed or allowed a contributor who is a convicted child sex predator. And at the very least, the reaction should not be, let's scrub this guy so nobody knows he ever had a part of our organization. There should be some accountability. There should be something that restores.
I mean, are you asking for them to go on the apology tour? It's another topic we've hit before.
Yeah,
now they have to attempt the apologies, which we all know do nothing positive whatsoever.
They don't do positive. No. I disagree. I don't think they do anything positive for the left, because those are apologies for things that aren't actually wrong. Like, nobody should apologize for an opinion. Nobody should, that doesn't hurt anybody. Nobody should apologize for saying a bad word that doesn't hurt anybody, or whatever. That's not that is. You're right. That nobody should apologize for having a frog on a Kickstarter. That's not what I'm talking about. At some things deserve apologies, and I think this is one of them. And if I saw them say, yeah, we apologize for this, I would respect them. I would say, yeah, okay, cool. They own up to it. Let's move on. I don't think that's the same as the left.
I think we can hope that your reaction you're stating right now would be yours, and not just yours, but everyone's. And I am loath to believe that would ever be the case. Everyone wants sensational journalism.
Well, speaking of sensational journalism,
but who needs? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. What were you going to say, Will?
You're frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. Speaking of sensational journalism, G4 TV, and talking about nostalgia, G4 TV had a series of massive layoffs recently, like a couple days ago, following incredible. Following a severe tank of their audience, following a crazy rant by
Frost.
This person. So Frost Urine. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say? Yeah, that's what I said.
Go ahead.
Whenever I so this person here, who goes by the last name Urine, did
really?
Frost Urine. Yeah.
URINE?
No, it's spelled weird. But no, it's her last name. If you go look at her Twitter, it's Frost Urine. Yeah, no, I wasn't kidding when I said frosted urine. Sounds like a gross latte at a knockoff.
Yeah, and I said it was
Starbucks.
gross, and we're doing it on the stream anyway.
So yeah, well, we do. That's what we do. So she did this crazy sexism in gaming rant, which wasn't obvious. It's that whole thing where the left, anytime that the left does something stupid and you go, hey, that's stupid, they go, well, that's because you're a sexist. It's not, like, heaven forbid we do some self-reflection. So she did this really arrogant, self-serving, pompous, hate the fan rant labeled sexism in gaming. All of the woke-tards celebrated it, and literally everybody else tuned out. She even said, she ended with, if you don't like it, don't watch it, peace. And that's exactly what everybody did. Which led to a gradual decline, which led to massive firings, which led to Frost Urine here, this lovable face here, going onto Twitter going, I survived, let's play some games, yo. So she got like 30 people fired and then bragged about it on Twitter and then got slammed on Twitter. And within a day, within 24 hours, G4 was like, ooh, yeah, no, you're actually fired. So
can I ask what may be a stupid question?
Yeah.
When is it ever a good idea to directly attack your fans? Just like to go, just speak directly to the audience that has subscribed to you and just go and just let them have it.
It seems to be the trend.
Has that ever worked?
I mean, if you're trying to change the direction of your channel, or you don't like your demographic currently and you want to get more extreme, you can look at a lot of those extreme news networks and see the people who they're trying to entertain.
Yeah.
I mean, look at any Tucker Carlson segment.
Oh, come on, Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson? What?
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson doesn't insult his fan base. He's the most popular. No. He's like the most popular show on TV.
If anything, he panders a little bit. No, I'm talking about like that, and like with the Rings of Power, like what Amazon did last week. Just like
I don't.
fans.
I actually
we bought this IP from the Tolkien family, right? So we can appeal to Tolkien fans, and then just go out and savage Tolkien fans.
That's all it. Yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's
is that a
this is a trend. Like what's it? Brie Larson did it with Captain Marvel. Hated on her fans. They injected anti-male scenes. Where it's like Yas Queen Slay made a bunch of dudes look like jerks. I think every villain was a dude, and it's like guys are the ones that read your comics. Like guys made you successful. Like you don't have to like them, but to trash them. You're literally, and by the way, it's 50% of the population, regardless of how you slice it. You just cut 50% of your fan base, and that's what Disney's doing. That's what Marvel's doing. That's what DC's doing. That's what Amazon's doing apparently, and that's what G4 is doing. And I think Eddie, you just made a good point that when you want to change your demographic, it works, but it only works to change the demographic. Then the question is, does that demographic are they actually customers? Do they actually?
I'm wondering if that's who they're finding out that is tuning in, because I mean, I'll give you the example from even last night for myself. I managed to start watching the new Game of Thrones stuff, right? Quick story here. And I realized into like 4 episodes, like, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I'm really watching this show. I might have a momentary glance at like some CG dragons and maybe like a stabbing or two here and there. But I realized 40 minutes into an episode that it was pretty much just feminine conspiracy drama. And it may have well been daytime television that I definitely have no interest in wasting my time over.
Yeah.
And you can get connected to characters. I don't even care, man. You can watch novellas. You know, I'm barely a Spanish speaker, but you can certainly get caught in a Spanish novella if you watch a couple episodes and realize you're invested in the characters, right, and their developments and their conflicts.
Sure.
At the same time, you can walk away from it, go with a fresh breath of air and say, "Oh my God, what a fucking waste of my time this is."
You know? I lasted 10 minutes. I don't know why it's written.
Is this the new Game of Thrones? Or something? Is this the new Game of Thrones or the old one?
It's the House of the Dragon, right? And I guess I'm only finally like having my eyes widened open to this concept of MCU, because I'm realizing, oh no, MCU. A lot of the content is focusing more on, it's not female characters that I'm worried about. Dude, female characters to me the best badasses ever.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
90s. But
yeah,
when the focus of the programming is the relationships between people and the subtle politic and the diplomatics bureaucracy, everything like that. That's what we saw happen to board gaming. I'm going to get us back on topic a little bit. That's what we saw happen. We see female conspiracy, or effeminate, I should call it. It's not about weak women. It's about weak people, okay? But it's still effeminate attribution of conspiracy level intrigue. And this is what you see in your role-playing games. I started seeing that in Vampire a long while back, because that's literally what that game is. You know, it's high court society. And this is being translated over into Tolkien. It's being translated over into everything else. Now, don't get me wrong. Martin's books, you know, Game of Thrones, this is drawn out stuff. It's long-winded, but it's a lot of narrative around scenery and effect and character interaction that kind of seems like it really actually matters. What they're doing now is changing the demographic interest to those who are actually tuning in. And if men are watching it less and women are watching it more, or men are watching it more with their women, they might be finding that like central audience that isn't just, you know, some of us dudes that want to see people get slaughtered for a few minutes and then go about our business, go back to work.
Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
I talk a lot.
When you consider like what television writers, like they're almost all from Manhattan, right? Television writers are all in Manhattan, and it's a very cloistered, very insular, not a very diverse group, right? You're talking about like millennials, a lot of millennials around 30 years old who went to Ivy League schools, right? Graduated Harvard or whatever, and who have no life experience, right? And they have no, and they learned how to write, like they studied writing, screenwriting. And so I think they're doing their best, is my point. I think they're writing what they know, which isn't very much, right?
Sure.
Maybe they might know a bit more if their father stuck around.
Ouch. No, if they went to Ivy League school, they have a dad.
That's how I do it. No, because you I think you nailed it, Eddie, that it's weak. And it's not that that's against women, but it is feminine. Masculinity, it's not sexist to say masculinity is where strength, like brawn strength, comes from, because that's where it comes from. And it has for like millions of years.
It's less subtle. There's intrigue in male comedy, male action, male drama.
Well, you can have like, and I think, and I see the point. I see the merit of wanting to make something that attracts the other, the female side. So and have something where like a guy and a girl can, like a girl could have a guy sit down and enjoy content with her. Like that's what rom-coms are supposed to be. That's why romantic comedies are comedies, because dudes like to laugh and chicks like the romance, and everybody likes to laugh. Everybody likes to laugh. But if you have like even in Bond, even like James Bond, like the or at least the old guard James Bond, quintessential masculinity. The chicks weren't stupid. Like you didn't watch it going, ha ha ha, dumb babes, dumb broads. Like most of the chicks were badass. Most of the chicks did a lot of the shooty pew pew stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, James Bond saves her. But like, barring the weirdos on the left, women find that attractive. Like they like that. They like a strong man at some point to take charge at some point. So
you're seeing a lot of marshmallow people right now. I don't know if you see the lack of definition in people, especially in the
they've never had any struggles in their lives. So,
I'm literally talking about their physique. I mean, I see people
that too.
Probably have a hard time.
It makes you mentally, psychologically.
There's so many ways this conversation.
We're just blowing up, man. This is why we go live.
No, but this is, but to the point, like flipping that around to what She-Hulk has become, or these MCUs. It's not content where a girl's like, hey honey, I want to watch the show, will you watch it with me? And the guy's like, yeah, sure. And you can sit down and watch it together and be like, oh, that was cool. It's content where you go, hey honey, I want to watch the show, you watch it with me. And the guy's like, okay, sure. And then you sit there and watch it and she goes, see, look how stupid you guys are. See how stupid you males are. And the guy's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm dumb. I guess I'm dumb.
I guess that was the message.
I guess my point is, I don't think there's like an agenda here to appeal to like some audience. I think they think this is good writing that appeals to everybody.
Yes.
Because based on their experience, right, what they wrote resonates with them.
But it doesn't resonate with literally anybody else, and and it's not profitable at all.
They don't resonate with anybody else. That's why they live in Manhattan and don't go into the rest of the country.
I want to defend the nature of art and say that art is for the creator, not for the audience. Okay. Just
Yeah,
as a highlighting point of my
but not
philosophy on
everybody's an
art.
artist, you know.
You like it, you don't. I think it's extremely important to defend its right to exist at all
Of
levels,
course.
at all times. So,
Nobody's saying
But
burn
don't
the
get
book
mad
here,
if
though.
nobody likes it.
Right.
right.
Don't
Don't get
attack
mad.
don't
And
attack the
we're
people
talking
for not
about
writing.
the distraction. There's a distraction here. There's that left hand of you don't like it for this reason. It's not really the reason people are actually even purporting.
Okay, but if you want to make a living doing art, you have to at some point appeal to the market. You have
Or
to at some
somebody.
point.
Well,
No,
you
right,
know your
or
audience.
enough people to pay your bills. That's got to be your objective. If you want to live, if you want to eat, you have to be able to afford the food. And in order to do that in art, you have to be able to appeal to enough people to feed yourself.
I'm glad
And
you
what
said
we-
enough.
Well,
That's
that's all you net. That's all you got to do. Reach a net zero, and you're fine. But the problem is this messaging, these stories, this art, if we want to even call it that, does not appeal to enough people to feed the artists that are trying, the alleged artists that are trying to make it.
So we're
And
not
then they
talking
get
about
mad.
breakthrough artists here. We're talking about established IPs that don't really, they're not worried whether any one particular branch of this 16
They
limb
should
tree
be.
They
is
should be, though.
appealing to everybody.
I think they weren't worried. I think they weren't worried, and they are now because the bill's coming due. To quote Mordo, the bill is coming due for them. They've been cashing in on the massive success of appealing to the wide audience, of maybe putting art to the back burner. I don't think that's even what they did, but they found a way to do it to appeal to the wide audience, and they got massive, stupid FU money rich doing it. And then they could afford to do whatever they wanted, and they squandered it. But they lived fat and happy on that for a time, and thinking, well, we're fine, everything works. See, ha ha ha, suck it, racists and is transphobes and homophobes, blah blah blah. You stupid cis white males. This word that we just made up. And now the bill's coming due, and you have massive layoffs at in every level. At G4, massive layoffs. They're probably going to shut down here pretty soon. Marvel is doing massive layoffs. DC is now licensing out their IP to other people. They're like, please, somebody buy our crap because we can't do anything with it. We can't sell it. It's losing us money.
Warner Brothers did an about face. They canceled all their stuff and they're changing course.
As did Disney. Look at the new the new CEO, the new president, CEO, executive of Disney. He's taken an axe to everything. He only let Ariel out because it's already done, and it's gonna make what it's gonna make. But I think they do care now. I think they're forced to care now.
Another element to this is, I think, well, these it chafes me to no end to call Tolkien a franchise. It's high literature, second only to the Bible in my mind. But they bought this thing, right, that they know makes money, or like in the case of Star Wars, $4 billion, right? They purchased this thing. Mm-hmm. This thing, they purchased this golden egg that prints money, and they don't really understand why. They don't know why it makes money, right? They didn't really go in and like they used to do. They didn't go and analyze the audience. They didn't go like in focus group, like, why do you like this? They bought this, right? Okay, we have this thing that makes money. Now we're going to write for it, and you're going to love it because you always have. And when you don't, we're going to punish you because we paid for this. We paid for you, and we own you, right? And you need to buy this because that's what we paid for.
Well, you're the
product. If you don't, then I have to punish you because you suck. Like, what did I spend my money on?
So I think this is what I love here. Let me ring it at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what makes this panel so great, is that we all have various degrees of disagreement in this conversation.
Does anybody disagree with that?
Oh no, I didn't disagree with that at all. But we have disagreed fairly enough in these conversations, have we?
Yeah, we definitely don't yes man one another. I think that came up earlier in the program.
And that was something that William had said before he went. I love that about this panel, and not to self masturbate right now on screen.
Jesus,
but screen. You're not. But this is how you guys can know that this is real. This is raw, and nobody's here is going to cancel each other, and we're gonna continue working together, which is beautiful.
Yeah, well, everybody here has a job in the industry. We're not like talking heads. Marketing is not our vocation.
No, that was William's job.
When
and
we put
he's
this
gone.
together, I know my first interest in having this TGE network so that it could be, the solid few of us that there currently are and the guests is so that we are defending some of those basic human rights and interests of having your opinion preserved as a personal opinion separable from your public and commercial one. If you want to be private, if you want to be public, we're doing that. We're drawing a distinction here at times, but we're also putting ourselves on blast. But I genuinely don't think that people should have to lose their positions, lose their livelihood over some stated opinions, sometimes made in jest, sometimes made in earnest, but just openly dialoguing so that you can grow.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm moving, man. I got this wheelchair. It's kind of slightly broke and it's moving my whole life.
Can I say another thing? I talked with about the people with no life experience and how they're bad writers. Right?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about me while I'm here.
I believe that's true. I went back and a couple weeks ago I started rewatching the original Star Trek, as an adult.
Oh, what a great show!
Right?
What a great series.
The thing that is great about it, in my opinion, is not the high concept sci-fi, but that is good. But it's just especially the first several episodes, it hit me. It's all very military, and they're standing in rows, standing at attention, and there's they're welcoming diplomats, and they're having a funeral, and all these guys, the writers and the performers, they all served in World War II. Right. Oh. And they never bring that up, but it's in everything that they do. Right. The first few episodes is about breaking under pressure, the duty of command, loyalty and respect and duty and honor and all these things, it's never the topic of an episode. It's just woven into everything.
So while it is about social issues topically, episodically, yes, it's also being performed by people who are kind of masculine in their demeanor, are storied and war experienced.
So they're true to damaged people. You can tell. Sure. Yeah.
They were World War II vets? Are you sure they weren't Korean War vets?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they were service people. So there's that. I'm just thinking I thought oh my. I know his family was interned or something. He did mention that they were
yes. Yeah, he would have been too young. Shatner might be a little bit too young. But Roddenberry was definitely in World War II.
It's all falling apart now. Roddenberry was, that wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe Korean War, right? Or something.
That was, possibly,
man. That
is possible.
I was at this event, this convention that this store owner tried to cancel me from. That whole thing that happened where she tried to get me canceled from the convention, and they stood their ground and they let me stay. And guess who didn't show up after causing a huge fuss about everything? Meanwhile, we had a great time. A lot of people played the game, had a great time. I met a lot of people from all walks of life, and I got to talk with the people. There's a show on YouTube. If you love that show, and Priest over here is watching it right now. If you love the OG Star Trek series, there's an incredible series called Star Trek Continues on YouTube, and it's shot dude, they do so good. They rebuilt the set of the Enterprise, every detail of the original set of the Enterprise is there. And the guy who plays William Shatner plays William Shatner better than William Shatner.
He have the same delivery,
dude. Pause for pause. He has the best delivery. They actually did.
That's how you do Shatner. Is the pause.
There's the one, and the episodes are brilliant. Their first episode has Apollo, the original Apollo, in it. From the episode where they met Apollo, the gods, which was one of my favorite episodes. Another episode they did is the episode where Captain Kirk goes to an alternate dimension. And he has to convince Spock in this alternate dimension where he gets replaced with evil Kirk, and he's.
I should know the name of that when I feel dumb.
Yeah. Okay, so in Star Trek Continues, they do that episode on the other side of the dimension. So it's about the evil. It's about the evil or the good Spock or the evil Kirk, whatever. I guess the evil Kirk or whatever, getting around and whatever, but. to start it off, they do the last scene of the original episode, shot for shot, frame for frame, and delivery for delivery. And it is like, and there's somebody who did like they did the original here and their reshot here, and it is uncanny how good they nailed that show. That show's so freaking good. So Star Trek Continues. You've got to check it out. It's on YouTube. You can see every episode. They're amazing. Awesome. And but I got to meet the crew. I got to meet the producer and director of that whole series. And we were up for till 3 a.m. drinking wine and champagne, talking about these kind of things that you're talking about, these philosophies and stuff. Anyway, so
can I throw in one more thing, one last thing about Star Trek before we go on?
Then I want to talk about you. But
do you know who produced Star Trek originally? You know what company?
No.
It wasn't Viacom?
Desilu. You know who ran Desilu in 1964? Lucille Ball. Yeah. Lucille Ball, a woman, produced Star Trek. Like, people whine all the time about, when there's no women in nerd culture. Like, the women,
yes, there are,
but nobody mentions them.
And they're awesome. They're awesome. They're awesome ladies.
How come none of the feminists want to bring her up? I don't know.
Because it would disprove their theory. So speaking of bringing something up, I want to bring up Pause. You were a subject of a recent stream from the King of Average. The King of Average saw your game. I haven't actually seen
that yet.
Well, you're going to. You're going to. Here we go. Let's see here. Is everybody here?
That guy.
Yeah. That guy. Let me bring this up to the video. We're gonna watch this together, everybody. So here we go. We want to see what he says. Yeah, let me bring this. There we are. Here we go.
This is some time ago.
All right, here we go.
What did he say? What a doozy! Actually positive.
For the most part.
It's weird seeing my stuff on somebody else's show. I can't hear what he's saying.
All right, stop virtue signaling, dude. Stop trigger warning. The bricks.
The bricks.
But
can you pray a phrase for us since we don't have this going out to the audience? The audio.
What's that?
I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything?
No.
You have to have your layering include that sound.
Let me see. Oh, why did you tell me? All right, here we go. I'll bring it back.
I thought everybody else could. I thought it was just me.
Oh, if you can't hear it, I don't know. Can Priest? Can you hear it? Let me stop the screen. Dagnabbit. It could be that I have.
We enjoyed hearing you laugh to nothing.
Maybe you just summarize.
Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Windows share audio. Boom. Boom. All right. Let's do this thing. All right, let's see if you can hear it.
Next up, Portland.
There you go.
What a doozy. This is about an actual news event that happened. It's very satirical for the most part, and I'm going to get to that. I actually have no issue with satire.
This is where he gets into his preamble to virtue signal.
Your thing that you're creating, I think that's by all means fine. Whatever. Whether it's for something I believe in or something I don't believe in, or I mean, you do you. I think that's important to actually be able to be okay with is satirical content, political commentary in any kind of industry. I think it goes one step a little too far to get into the super cringe or I don't know about that too much. And that is actually, you don't really see it. Like, it's all just kind of here and again there. She dives in dumpsters and stuff. It's again very much like laying it in heavy on kind of what they think here.
What they think, it's what they do.
You have all the different shops you can burn and whatnot, throw bricks or whatever. This one right here. Let me go ahead and you can kind of really see.
Come on.
This is your frog moment.
That is very on the nose. All these other characters are archetypes,
fictitious,
exaggerated examples of something. The medic here is like a 1-to-1 view of an actual person.
Well, say it. Say
and
it.
I think that's
Say
probably
his name.
a bit
Say
too
his
on the
name.
nose for my taste to be super comfortable with.
How dare you honor an innocent man, an innocent boy who was vilified by the entire effing world, and it all turned out to be false.
Comments around that character.
Jackery Jackson there, he's also a real person. Probably didn't know who he was, though.
People actually read the rules and said, I think the medic is like overpowered. I was like,
he is.
That's really funny.
You can't play as the medic. He's a hazard. You can't be the medic. Everybody wants to be the medic, but you can't. Okay?
You can't be the medic.
You can't be the medic. He will just shoot you.
Otherwise, I mean, again, it's got like adult toys and weird random stuff you can get, used needles, and it's ridiculous and over the top. And very good to me, except for that one mini. And so that's what kind of made me kind of step back and like, oh, okay, let's calm down a little bit here.
Oh my God.
So
dude,
yeah, let me know what you think on this. I would love to have a discussion with you about games like this.
How about you come on this show and let's have a discussion?
Hell yeah. Or I'll
buddy.
go on your show.
He did a great job giving you some press and opening up the discussion. It's really great. It's
That was very good.
something like the best thing we can hope for, that people want to see more art being created. And as I know we had this topic come up earlier with Dwight saying, hey, this is family stuff. No, man, it's not family stuff. There's some great games out there. What was the one called Hate? And it was just like a two-member fantasy. That's awesome. I want to see that stuff.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that all games are family games. I said that. I said that if you
we don't have to get into that.
Don't mischaracterize me.
It's fun, Dwight. Take it like a man, Dwight.
I will refuse.
Take it like a man.
Drop the soap. I refuse. Hey, so you said you had we got some news. We do have some news for our games. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we jump into that, and then we can say our proper goodbyes?
Was that the end?
Well, that was the end of that guy.
He wasn't mad. Oh, was there another guy?
No, not that I know of.
Cool.
I don't have anything against the guy.
He seems cool.
I mean, I think he's. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand what was a little too on the nose. He's gonna have to.
If you're not being provocative, if you're not making some people uncomfortable, then what's the point, right?
Right.
We just cash in checks.
Yeah. What you got here? Oh, I put that in the I put the link. I put that link in the description.
Campaign starts in a week.
Yeah, we got 7 days, so the game
nobody will review it. Nobody.
Maybe this guy will. He really wants it now.
It's untouchable. Absolutely untouchable. Even the people who say, "Hey, this guy's an ally," he would definitely. No, they won't. No, they won't. They're scared. Even the guys that you think are on our team. No.
I don't see. I wonder if that's why he was. I wonder if that's why he was a little like when it's a little too on the nose. I wonder if that's why he was like that, because he doesn't want to get canceled. He wants to acknowledge it, but he doesn't want to get canceled. But I agree with you.
It's the same group of like 10 people just running around.
Yes, it's the same 6 people on Twitter.
It's the same guy. Exactly isn't it okay to piss those people off? Isn't it? Take the risk. Take the risk. Maybe it's not that bad.
Okay, so we do have some game news. So yes, okay, so Eddie, you were sharing the link, but it is in the description, guys. Everything for our games is links in the description of the video. But you have a new trailer that just dropped for Portland Occupy Zone.
I did. I made a new trailer.
Okay, I think I've got that here.
Are we gonna play it?
Yeah,
cool.
let's check it out.
Yeah,
let's check it out.
The spring offensives were turning into summer battles.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes. There was no end in sight. Nothing like this war had ever been seen. It defied prophecy. It defeated understanding. It had escaped from the control of man. For 9 months now, every human endeavor had gone awry. For 9 months, all man's reason, all his ingenuity, all his science had produced only destruction beyond imagining, and sacrifice counted already in millions of lives.
Wow.
Almost done.
This is a work of art, man.
1,000 years of civilization seemed to be visibly crumbling.
Fantastic.
Is that's the trailer?
Yeah, it's another trailer. The audio
the
is from
trailer.
a 1964 BBC documentary on World War One. They're talking about the Battle of Verdun. Like I was listening to it, I was like, wow. I'll just put, yeah, that's perfect. Society visibly crumbling. It just works. New video visuals. Boom, out it goes.
That's amazing. No gameplay, no pieces.
Well, the other ones have the
Actual Portland Occupy Zone. That's the game.
The other trailers have the gameplay.
That's so awesome. See, how do you not laugh at that? How can you not laugh? Like it's a little too on the nose. Yes, exactly. It is exactly on the nose.
If you're gonna hit it, right?
Absolutely.
If you gotta, I can't say it. It's a family show.
All you have is the hammer.
Fuck, go in like rock hard. Don't get in like you can't. Nobody is pleasured that way.
Well, how many offensive jokes do we have to see on the right from 2016 to 2020 or before that? Like the radical left are the only ones allowed to
Baby
make
Trump
jokes?
Balloon was like the greatest satire the world had ever seen. Baby Trump Balloon.
Right.
It's funny. I laughed. But great satire?
I don't know,
man.
I liked the giant Space Marine Trump. Did you see that?
Oh yes, from Italy. That was fantastic.
That was amazing.
Yes,
that was amazing.
Somebody in Italy loves that guy.
Well, I thought that was I thought that was intended to be an insult to him.
No, I don't think so. I think that was sincere.
Oh wow. Wow. So I got some news on High Noon. We got that's awesome. So the factory, I've been getting the packaging finished for the expansions, and they are going to be the factory's going to be sending me the samples. And I told them, I was like, I need these to be like, I need them to look like how somebody will see them in the store. I want the pieces in there. I want the cards in there. That's what I want, because I'm going to take these to trade shows and hopefully do some pre-orders with them, with retailers. So I just got this 2 days ago from the factory. Check it out.
The elevator music.
That's the factory music. Playing. I can't control what they listen to. Right?
That looks great.
I'm so excited. The cards are supposed to be in card boxes. So you're not supposed to see what the cards are. You're supposed to see their tuck box. And the minis should be colored to their Pantone. So I'm having them do that. But it looks like those samples are ready to go.
I was gonna do colored minis. I thought it would be too expensive. It probably
to do colored.
Yeah.
No,
it was like each one a different color. I don't know.
Each posse is a different color, and they're the color of the back of their cards. So it'll be easy to identify who they are.
Should have done that.
Yeah, should have. It's only like a penny more.
Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you.
So that's we're crawling closer, guys. If you are a follower of High Noon, for the expansions, we're crawling closer to that, and I'm still gunning for a Christmas release. I know it's pretty lofty at this point, but I'm still going for it. And if I can't, I have another trick up my sleeve to give you guys. So working on those angles. But that is the update for there. Again, links for both High Noon and Portland Occupy Zone are in the description of the video, as well as the Gaming Goats shop. The web store to buy all games, including tournament fishing. Can they buy tournament fishing there?
Let me see what's going on. We just got it landed yesterday, and we're fulfilling Kickstarter pledges first, and then we will put them on there.
When am I going to get my tournament fishing? When is that going to happen? Because I
Patience, grasshopper.
Patience, grasshopper.
Yeah, at least he didn't call me a frog. All right, guys. Well, I think that ends it for us. Is there anything you guys want to add before we go?
I'm done.
Pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching, guys. Stick around. We'll say our proper goodbyes, and we will see you all next week.